Today I'm going to talk about psychic attack, reptilians, the lizard people, the Anunnaki, entities, dark energies, dark ETs, but not in a way to create fear, but to empower you so you know exactly what they are and how to deal with them. Today on Earth 1111. Hey everyone, it's Roxanne, Earth 1111. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell because you're not going to want to miss out. I talk about spirituality, awakening, ascension, 5D New Earth, and all the weird stuff in between. What ascension is we are merging with darkness. We are merging with our darkness in order to neutralize it to light. So every time that you sense something, typically it's probably going to be something in you, a part of you that's been walled off from the light that needs to be healed. So it's coming up and it is scared for its life. So every time we have a trauma or something happen, it's imprinted into our brainstem, which is our lower self, and it creates that fight or flight, that ability to feel and to be in the moment, in that moment, looping in that trauma, replaying over and over. This is also what creates those automatic thoughts, those worries, that constant feeling of agitation and stress or fear or anger, because you were locked in to that way of existence. Now this is how it feels for these beings, for these dark beings. They're just scared, alone, separated from the light, and in that loop, replaying that horrible event over and over. This is why it's so key to realize that they are just trying to find the light. And even though you're a human, to them, you are the light. There's a lot of us that came here with one of our biggest missions of this life was to transmute darkness, all that shadow of the collective. Because guess what? Most people can't do it. They have no ability to do it. They're stuck in those low vibrations, in that loop. They have no way to get out of it. So we are here to transmute that, all that density, all those negative thoughts, those emotions, all that bad stuff. We neutralize it, and then the entire collective, everyone in the world, and Mother Gaia, our Earth, is able to ascend to a higher consciousness level, to a higher dimension, all because you have done so much work transmuting this darkness over and over and over again. So ascension is healing these parts of yourself. So you might say, okay, well, what about the reptilians and the bad people and the lizard people, all these people out there that are doing all these things to people in the world, that are creating all these agendas? Remember, every single one of us has potential to be in our heart, to be in existence of pure love and light, or to be in the ego. The ego is all these parts of self that are walled off. We can call them different things. We can call them entities, energies, emotions. The ego, the shadow, these are all different names for the same thing. So the reptilians are existing separate from the whole, and this trauma is imprinted in the brainstem. So it becomes imprinted into your brainstem or someone else's. Now, when we have so many traumas on top of traumas on top of traumas, the brainstem is so full of density and all these different programming. The person acts almost like an animal, like a robot. They are so controlled with fight or flight. There's no front brain reasoning. There's no logic. So they act from that instinct or from that programming. So this is why so many people are so easily programmed, and why a lot of people believe that, oh, these bad people at the top are reptilians, or controlled by the reptilians or lizard people. Well, our brainstem is our reptilian self. It's our lowest brained self, our lowest consciousness. And this is why all the fears and all of the anger, all the low emotions, the low traumas that happen to you are imprinted in the brainstem. So when we have so many traumas, someone acts programmed. And this is why, they say the people at the top are controlled by the reptilians. Yeah, they're controlled by their own brainstem, which is completely damaged, completely full of trauma and fear and programming. So they are like a reptilian. And this happens with everyone. So this isn't just the bad people out there. We all have our reptilian self, our dragon type self, you call it. You can call it archons, dark entities. Now the biggest thing to remember though is whether it's a bad person out there or whether you're feeling it in your field or you're seeing monsters, you're hearing negative voices, maybe you're just feeling that fear, things are coming up and out of you to be healed. It's probably your own darkness. It's your own reptilian self that's being merged with the light. So there's no need to be worried. And again, I know what you mean about, okay, you go someplace and you pick up all this stuff from everyone. Right? I'm very empathic. I know exactly what that is. But you have to remember, the outside, everything that happens out here is always a mirror to show you what you don't know about yourself, what is hidden inside your body that you don't know. So the fact that you're filling up with other people's stuff means that you have voids, you have holes in your energy field, in your aura, tears. You might have blockages creating holes. So imagine yourself in the shower, right? The shower's coming down in perfection, so you are the water in perfection. That's your energy stream. That's your consciousness stream. Now imagine you put your arm right in the water. Now underneath there's a gaping hole. There's a void where no water can flow. So think of that like these blockages, these traumas, these reptilian selves that create those voids. So now, again, it's a wormhole. So it's not really an arm in the way, it's a wormhole, which is a trauma, a knot in the energy field. So now you have this big, huge void of empty space. So what happens? Things get in there. All the nitty-gritty bad stuff out there, all the thought forms flopping around there in the field, in the collective. You walk down the street, there's thought forms, there's emotions, there's fear. Of course right now, right, with all the stuff going down that they're trying to pull, all of these things are creating this big soup of emotions and energy that when you're someone that walks around and you are in an expanded state because you are higher vibrational, you are more light, guess what? You have these voids, these things will come into you. Whether it's, you can call it entities, energies, you can call it ghosts, you can call it anything you want. They're all very similar. But they come into your field because they believe you are the light. So this is why it happens. It doesn't happen randomly. It happens because you are higher vibrational. You are more light. So these beings or these thought forms or emotions are always just trying to be healed. They are trying to come back into the light. They're trying to find their way home. Because deep down, they just want to be loved. Remember, darkness is always serving the light. Because this darkness coming into your field is showing you, you have a hole here. You have a blockage. You have something that you need to clear yourself, and your own trauma, your own thing from a past life or from your childhood or from 5 minutes ago. So you have something to heal. So the outside world and all this darkness is always serving the light. And again, we can talk about it as far as, okay, well, what about the reptilians or the ANUNNAKI, the ones that created, that brought humans down from being a higher vibrational ascended human back tens of thousands of years ago and created us to be two-strand DNA, duality, polarity. This is what two-strand DNA created. And remember, everything is serving the light. Everything is of the Creator. So the Creator needs to know itself. Creator, God, source energy needs to know itself. Well, it can't know itself if it's always just hanging out in the light. It needs to know every part of itself. So the Anunnaki and other different dark alien races created humans to be two-strand DNA. Downgraded us to be two-strand DNA because Earth was meant to be a school of learning. When do we learn? We learn in duality. We don't learn when things are easy. We learn when things are hard. So this is what Earth is all about. It's about being in a situation where we have free will. The problem is we have limited capacity to know anything. Most people exist purely from their brain stem, from programming of everything. So this free will is based on their ego, based on all these urges and all these programs that they are believed to be true, because they're always just in fear about all this programming, right? This is how most people exist. Most people live their life like this. It's pretty easy. We look around, this is how everyone is, except now we are waking up. We are building multiple strand DNA. Essentially, we are merging these two strands into the center point, which I'll talk about actually in another video, what is 1111 and things like that mean. So watch that video after this if you haven't already. So we are merging into the center. Now we can build multiple strand DNA, so we can access multiple dimensions. Because if you already are feeling like you're psychically attacked, or things are always coming at you for you to transmute to light, or you're walking around in fear, there's all this negative energy you always feel everywhere. You just feel it. You're so sensitive. Remember, it's because you are higher vibrational than average. You have gone up in vibration compared to the past, and you now exist as more light. Now you are expected to be more of a master. Again, at the beginning you're not going to be any type of master, but you are expected to now be on your ascension journey doing the inner work. So this is why things come into your field. They keep coming, the same issues. The same areas of your body keep being affected. You always attack the same thing over and over because you haven't healed that thing in you. The darkness is just showing you it's there. But when we have the Anunnaki and these different beings, right? The Draconians, there's certain races from Orion, they're supposed to be dark. Everything is always serving the light. It's always working. It might have free will. It might be service to self. But that service to self teaches us. So when we have the bad people doing service to self things, it teaches the good people, the polarized aspects, the ones that are service to others, it teaches them that they can be empowered to be a lot stronger than this little mini here. So what happens? Try this. Next time you feel like you're attacked, or you feel like, there's something coming at you, there's a scary monster that you're seeing, you're feeling that fear, or you're feeling just whatever it is that's making you feel like you're attacked. In that moment, talk to that being or that energy or that trauma, whatever it is. Talk to it, ask it what it wants, and more importantly, give it love. Imagine it's just like a little lost child. It just wants this mummy. It wants to be loved and nurtured and brought back into the heart, back into the light. So you will find instantly, might take a couple minutes, but right away things start shifting. And I've had this happen almost every day because I deal with so many things. So when we go towards the darkness, we are now able to bring that darkness to neutral, to heal it. And you will sense that being or that energy changes. When you love it, when you just give it so much unconditional love, you talk to it, you ask it what it wants, you give it attention. See how fast that being or that thing changes. It will be instant. I've had things multiple times, hundreds of times, thousands of times, where it's this ghoul, it's this demonic entity. And it's freaking scaring me as far as trying to say horrible things. And it looks like a dead freaking zombie or whatever, right? And I give it love. I ask it what it wants. I go to it. I approach it. I go right in there. Because it doesn't expect that, right? And the more love I give it, it transforms. It transforms, literally shapeshifts, and becomes a little scared kid, a little boy or a little girl. It will shapeshift because you have neutralized that, whatever it is, with love. You have the ability. You are so strong. You are more powerful than you'll ever imagine. So remember, all the things you hear, everyone that tries to bring fear into you, it's because of their own beliefs. They have their own fear they haven't healed. Their own traumas that believe they are the victim to these bad things. It's not true at all. We are always empowered. You start going head on with all of these things, not in a bad way, but in a way of love. You go right to the darkness. Watch how fast it transmutes to light and is neutralized. Remember, these traumas are attached to us. So they're, like I said, the little loophole or little wormhole. So now it exists out here, but it's always attached to you. So if you run from it in fear, or if you get angry, you just riled it up and it chases you because you're running and it's coming after you because it's attached to you. Remember that. So that's why you go towards it. You go towards your darkness because everything that's dark is just unrealized potential. It's all your greatest strengths. It's your biggest abilities, talents, gifts that are all inverted to be that fear or to be that weakness. But you heal it, you neutralize it, you bring it back to whole, back to your heart. Give it love, give it what it needs. It might need something. It might need you to dance. It might need you to write in a journal. It might tell you something like that. It might need vitamin B, whatever it tells you, right? Whatever you feel. But remember, when you heal that, now you get back that gift because that part of you could have been your greatest strength that you were killed for many times in a past life, so it becomes your greatest fear. You love it, you get back that part of you that you were meant to be. And you can now start living your life purpose and your soul mission. You're never a victim. Whenever you feel like you're a victim or you're scared of something, approach it. Hit it right on. Ask it what it wants. Give it that love. And guess what? Neutralize it and it becomes your friend, your best friend. And it starts working with the whole. You heal that separation. It now works with the whole. So you are a huge force field of power and intention and manifestation to create the life of your dreams. Anyone that tells you otherwise hasn't done the work. So it's about oversoul embodiment, not just initial awakening and ascension. Every time we heal something, we are getting a stronger pillar of intention in order to literally create the life of our dreams, co-creating with the universe. You are a God co-creator. So, we'll see you soon on EARTH1111. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell. Share the video, please. I appreciate that. And don't forget to comment below and like it. We'll see you soon. I'm Roxanne. Thanks so much. EARTH1111. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.